Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Hector Rivas. Today we are going to be talking about Pathfinder and how to use and be able to combine and blend geometry together. So let's get started. First, launch Illustrator. Give me a blank document like this. And this time we're going to go to our drawing settings, white arrow, pen tool, fill none, stroke red, half a point weight, and go ahead and give me, let's work with the rectangle tool to create a rectangle like this. And now we're going to edit. So we're going to go back to the pen tool and let's add a point here. So I'm using the pen plus. Remember, if the pen hovers over a line, an existing line, it gives you that pen plus like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get that point, and I'm going to hit Command on my keyboard so I can manipulate my points. And I can do something like this. Once I have that, then I'm going to use the black arrow tool to select the whole geometry. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it in front. So Command C for copy, Command F for paste in front, and I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to rotate it to the 90-degree holding Shift to get this. Now, right now it's two separate geometry. I want to combine it to become one geometry. And the way to do that is to use Pathfinder. If you go up to the window, pull down menu, and let's see, Pathfinder, where are you? There you are. You go here to this tool, Pathfinder. And then we can click on it. We select it. This is the first one that I want you to work with, Unite. Now look what happens when I click on Unite. It combines the shapes together. So I can do things like this. I can select this shape that is united, copy, paste in front, and I can rotate it. I can rotate it and hold Shift so it goes to the 45-degree like this. And maybe even scale it down by holding Option and Shift. I'm holding Option and Shift so it scales proportionally towards the center, like so. And then I can unite both of these shapes to create one shape using the Unite. So anything that I create here, let's say I want to create something organic here, like this shape here. I can select them and I can unite them. Or if I wanted to create a circle, I'm holding Option and Shift. So this circle that I'm going to create grows from the center. I'm going to create a few of them. And then I can select all, which is Command A, and then I can unite it to create that. So that's uniting. Let's move on to a different one. I am going back to the rectangle tool and back to the pen tool, pen plus, holding command to move my points, black arrow, copy, paste in front, rotate, copy, paste in front, rotate, holding shift to the 45-degree angle, move it, scale it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, instead of uniting it, I'm going to select them all, and I'm going to use this Pathfinder called divide. Divide. And so look what happens. When I click on it, at first it appears as it did nothing. But if you go here to the white arrow and you select one shape at a time and you color it, you're going to see that it divided. I'm going to use the eyedropper tool to color. And look how I'm going to color here. I'm going to use the eyedropper tool, and then I'm going to hold Option. I'm going to hold Option, and look what happens. I hold Option so I can paint with that color that's selected. But notice that the Pathfinder divided all my geometry into multiple geometries, into multiple shapes. So I'm going to do a lighter green here. I'm going to zoom in, Command plus, and I can do something like this. I'm going to go back to the green family here, and I go darker. And you can see this is all being colored. And then finally, the last shape in the center. Maybe I'll do a green yellow to give you this. So instead of uniting it, it separated it, divided it into multiple geometry. But look what I can do here once it's divided. With the white arrow, if I select on the center of the geometry, I can move it. If I hold shift, it'll lock it to the 45 or the 90 degree. So I can separate my shape. Okay, so that's divide. Select all, delete. Let's go again, create a rectangle, fill none, stroke green this time. Let's add a couple of points. Just give me those spiky points. And this time, I'm going to copy, paste in front. Shift rotate, shift rotate to get that shape again. And this time I'm going to select it all, and I'm going to go to minus front. You see what it did? It took whatever shapes were on top and it deleted them from the original shape, the one that's all the way at the bottom. So to simplify it, you can do things like this. That's not what I want. I want a circle. So I'm going to go to the ellipse tool, create a circle, and let's say it's a Pac-Man shape. I want I want to cut out this triangle from this circle. So I'm going to select them both, and I'm going to say minus front, this one right here. Because that triangle is on top of the circle, since I made it, since it was the second shape I made, I can say minus front, and that's what I get. Let's do another exercise. Circle. I'm holding Option and Shift to get circles that grow exactly from the center. And I'm going to select all, and I'm going to say minus front. And I get that. Okay, so that's minus front. The next one. Let's say I have a circle. I'm going to copy it, paste it in front. I'm going to shift drag. And let's say you simply want the shape in the center. You do not want the shape on the left side or the right side. You want what's in between. So I select all, and I use this tool, which is called the Intersect tool. And I click on it, and I get that shape. So sometimes it's easier when you're creating artwork to find the intersection piece that you want by doing something like you want the intersection piece. Or, in this case, if you want that little diamond in there, intersection. Okay, the next one. We're going to go with the trim. I'm going to copy, paste in front, overlap two rectangles. This filter product, no results. Please select one or more filled paths. And this newer version is behaving a little bit different. So let's see. So these two are behaving different. This one is the exclude. So now, let's see if this one's still the same. Yeah. Okay, so this one's still the same. All right, so let me teach you that one. The exclude. All right, so if I grab a shape like this, a rectangle, I copy, I paste it in front. I have them overlapping like this. And then if I select all and go to exclude, then I'll deselect by clicking away from it. But if I click on it again, you notice that it selects the whole item as a group, and I don't want that. I want just a section of it. So I'm going to go to the white arrow tool, and I'm going to click on this path here. Now, when I hit the white arrow tool, but I also did Option, because if I just do the white arrow tool, it'll just grab one of the lines. But if I hold Option, which gives me the white arrow plus, then selects the whole geometry there, and I can move it. Which is kind of interesting because it looks like it's separated the two shapes into two other shapes, but the overlapping part of it. So when you look at it this way, you see two rectangles, but when you separate it now, it's, let me see. It's like an L and a 7. All right. If you guys can do that, then you should be able to create things like this. Let's put them together. Copy, paste in front. Shift, rotate. I want the circle. Copy, paste in front, Shift, and Option. I can unite that and create that. Or I can, let's see, what's a good way? I'm going to grab just the cross itself, unite that, and then, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to divide that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to divide this. Select all, divide it. And if I divide it with the white arrow tool, I can select this shape. That inner shape. So when I color it, I can color them all separately like this. Like that. Okay, so what I want you to do is practice combining shapes, taking away shapes, to create new shapes like this. So you can see what's going on here. I'm going to turn it into an outline. And you can minus front, for example. And now you also know how to manipulate your curves so you can turn it into something different. Okay, that concludes Pathfinder. It's your turn to experiment. Thank you for watching.